and I hear a cat purring.
Yep, that's Jasper.
I was like, "Oh, cat! Somebody's cat is happy."
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe my phone picked that up. Yeah, so he's literally right behind my tripod on
At first, I was trying to figure out I was like, "What is that sound?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's a purring cat." But
yes,
I
it
can't.
is. Jasper always has to be right by me anytime I make a video. He has to be the center of attention. So yeah, he's right behind here.
Tanya just sent me a picture. Oh, she's changing eyelashes on her dolls.
Eyelashes. Hmm.
Yeah, she
Yes.
has some cool eyelashes. They look very realistic. They're like the applied kind, but they look really real. Like they don't have that. A lot of them have that dark line. Like and when you put it on there, you can see it. And the ones that
Yeah.
you can't see the line, and it looks very natural.
Oh, nice. So I'll have to
Yeah.
check that
Okay,
out.
you two, settle it down. My dogs are over here playing with a toy.
Typical. Right, Jasper. No, I couldn't have a dog with him. That would not be a good.
Lila's harassing Zeke, and he's got a toy, and she's trying to take it from him. Well, a minute 39 seconds, and nobody has showed up yet. Usually, we
Hmm.
have several people showing up about now. I know Nikki said she was going to be late showing up.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
That's okay.
um, but she said she was going to log on, but she said I'll be late showing up. And then I think Tanya's coming. There's one person on here. Say hi once you get on, so we kind of know who all is on here. Malila. She thinks she's so bad. What are you barking at, my dolls? I have my dolls on my daybed, and she's looking over there barking. Hi, Desert Dolls.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. We're waiting for more people to get here. Usually, there's several people already here at this point. But I do know a couple of people had said they were coming, but they were going to be coming in late. So, oh, boom, we just went to 22. Everybody say hi when you get on so we know you're on here.
Yep. So we'll just hang out and wait for people.
Yeah.
I hope my tripod stays up. Okay.
How goes it this evening? Well,
It's
right now my
going.
dog is freaking out over my silicone baby or something. She's looking at the daybed, growling at it. Malila, hey, stop it. That's just my dolls. You've seen them, I don't know how many times.
She hasn't done that with other dolls before.
She hasn't even done it with that doll before. Like, I don't know what her
That's
deal is.
weird. Okay, now we got some people. Hi, everyone.
I don't know why she's doing that. She has never done that. She has seen that doll a million times too. Malila, hey, okay, I'm going to put you out of the room and shut the door because we're not going to do this the whole live. Okay,
Mm-mm.
girlfriend.
Hi,
Hello.
Neofuzz.
How is everyone? There's Tanya. Hey. Hello.
Hi, yay, Tanya. Oh, excuse me.
She said,
Oh,
it's me, Sandra. It's Sandra.
oh, Sandra. I didn't know what happened to your name, but I'm glad you're here.
I was like, why me 23? Who is that?
Yeah,
Malala.
I'm like, why me? Oh, Jason's phone. Okay, hi, Jason.
No.
Oh, hi, Monique.
Hi, Monique. And
Hope.
Kamika Jones, I
Come on.
guess. I'm
Oh,
Melissa.
hey, Melissa.
Malala, That's enough. I'm going to have to put her out of the room because she's just going to continue barking at my doll. I'll be right back. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
Puppies.
Then we'll just talk amongst ourselves. We're just gonna wait another minute or two, then dive in. But thanks for coming on, guys. Yay.
She raised up like a meerkat when I was trying to put her out, like one last bark at the bed. Neil says I actually have two myself. Oh, the reborn dolls? That's great. Or dogs. Are you talking about dogs or dolls?
Or both.
Sweet Esme, Sandra said. What beautiful baby.
Yes.
Hi,
Your
Chris
sweet
McNulty.
niece. No,
Hello.
Tanya, the puppy isn't rotten, just spoiled.
Yeah, she's very spoiled. She's literally standing outside the door barking. And I'm just like, I'm looking on the bed and I'm like, my silicone. Oh, I bet I know what she's barking at. My hair clippy. Because I came in here earlier to do some stuff and I took my hair clippy out and I put it on I forgot about laying it there because I was cleaning and stuff and I had my hair pulled up like in a clippy.
Right.
And then I took it down because knew I was going to get ready to go take a shower and all that kind of stuff. Neil Fuss has been talking about the reborn dolls.
Oh, you have two dolls. Oh, awesome.
Hello, Penny. Nice to meet you. Well, nice to meet you too. Which Sandra are you? I thought you were my friend Sandra.
That's Sandra from Little Meatballs Nursery.
Oh, okay. I was like, she's from, and I didn't know who Jason was. You know, I'm on Jason's phone, and I'm just like, okay. Because I'm thinking of my friend
Oh,
Sandra.
hi, Dottie Daisies. Yay.
Buddy. Yeah, she made it.
Yay. You want to say hi, babe?
Tanya said, yes, she is. She's been to Aunt T's house. Yeah, I took her to Tanya's house with me in Georgia one time. She's okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, Serenity. Hi, Veronica.
Hi.
So y'all don't forget to give a like and put some hearts on here. And that'll help get the live out there.
Yes, you are little meatballs. I had meatballs for dinner, Sandra. Oh my gosh, we had meatball subs.
Yummy.
They were
Well,
so
y'all,
good.
I'm trying my best tonight, y'all, to stay paced. And Christina's going to help me because she can see her clock and I can't. I don't have a clock in here. So we're going to try to keep everything kind of on track so that last week's live was like an hour and 45 minutes or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, it definitely needs to be not that long. So we're going to try our best. So welcome to the Doll Room Live with Penny. That's me, of course. And then I have a little co-host with me tonight. This is Stellan. And she's the Everly Gwen sculpt by Natalie Scholl. And she was reborn by, if I have a moderator on here, will you check that message? So the message is held for review. So you know what to do with it. So she was reborn by Brandon's Coffee of Dollies and Things. So she's just going to be my little co-host tonight. And so tonight's live is called Mental Health and Reborn Dolls, Comfort and Stigma. And I know this topic comes up a lot when you're talking about reborn dolls and also reborn doll collectors. How many times has someone said something about mental health because of a reborn doll collector? So first and foremost, I just want to stress that these dolls were created as art. But over time, people began to find comfort in them and they felt grounded and they began to have emotional support when they had their dolls. But it's not just because it's a doll. Like I feel like any hobby would provide that. A hobby's a hobby. So I do believe that that's why a lot of people confuse that with like, oh, it's a mental health tool. Well, it can be, but it wasn't created for that. And so a lot of times they'll say stuff like, well, I understand if they lost a child or if they're an elderly patient with dementia, but I don't know why this woman who should have all her faculties is playing with a doll. And I'm just like, I'm pretty sure hobbies don't work like that. Hobbies are not just for that.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it gets confused. And like when people found that these dolls can be very therapeutic because they can be very therapeutic. They automatically assume that that's what they're for and that's all they're for. And so therefore everybody who has a reborn doll must have mental health issues.
Right.
And I also don't like it because it's harmful when they stigmatize mental health because why? Why would you do that? Even if somebody does have mental health issues, why would you have a problem with their comfort tool? And nobody says, I've seen comments on some of those big YouTubers like, well, dolls shouldn't be the only therapy. Well, who said that that's the only therapy they have? It's not your business what else they do for therapy. You know what I mean? Like they just
No.
assume. And you know what they say about assuming?
Mhm. Yeah, don't
Have you
pretend you're
ever
so
seen those
concerned
things?
with other people's mental health because you're not. You're not. You
No.
don't care about their
Mm-mm.
mental health. Like, so just
Well, that's not my business. That's theirs. And if they want to share that with me, then that's one thing. But I don't make assumptions on anything. But
exactly, Connie, because we feel like it. That's why.
you'll put your foot in
Exactly.
your mouth when you do that.
Mhm.
Yep.
Exactly. So first and foremost, everything we're talking about, yes, the mental health aspect is great, but you don't owe anyone any explanation for
No.
this hobby at all.
Only
Like
if you
it's
want to. You share what you want to
mm-mm.
share.
Exactly. I mean, even if it is for mental health, so what? Because it makes someone else more comfortable. Oh, well, okay, she lost a child or she struggles with
Yeah.
oh, then that makes it okay. No. You can
No.
just love dolls. Nope, this is my
You
hobby. I
don't
like
have
it
to
and that's
have
it.
that reason to have dolls. And Veronica said nobody says anything if you have a physical illness, but mental health is stigmatized. Exactly.
That's a great point. That's a
It's
great point.
ridiculous.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, Sandra. You have mental um health issues and they do help with other things. Exactly. But,
They do,
uh,
and I just don't like the way they stigmatize people with any type of mental health issues. Like you and I were talking earlier before we started the live, and I know I've made little drops here and there in my videos, but I just recently took a test and I have over 75% of the traits of ADHD. And it
mhm.
always looks different in women and girls. And when I was growing up, ADHD was thought to be for boys only. So I was never tested and I was that kid that fell through the cracks. And then I became that adult that was all the time running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and wondering why I couldn't remember things or I was so dingy, because I would get called dingy. My mom would be like, "You're so dingy, you're so airheaded," or whatever. And I wasn't dingy, I wasn't airheaded. I just needed tools to help me manage my ADHD symptoms because they don't look the same in girls or women. Like even from when you're a
Mm-mm.
kid to when you grow up, your symptoms will be different. So
Right.
anyway, I'm sure all of y'all know my guest, Christina. I should have already introduced her, but hey, we got to talking, so we're good. So she's a fellow collector, she's a creator, and because of that, she knows the ins and out of YouTube and stuff. And I feel like that she knows the joy of this hobby as well as like the complexity of this hobby. So,
Yes, I sure do. And thank you for letting me be part of this conversation. When you
well,
announced
thank
this,
you for
I
being.
wanted to jump on right away because
Who do you have with you? Tell us about your baby?
so I have with me my sweet little Esme. Some of you already know. So she is the Edith sculpt by Cassie Brace. She was beautifully painted by Anna from Lang's Reborn Nursery, and she is definitely a favorite. You see her a lot on my channel, and you will continue to see her a lot on my channel. We're not supposed to have favorites, but you know, but it happens. So yeah, so Jasper, I'm sorry, my cat will not leave me alone and stop knocking over my tripod.
Hey, at
If
least
you
you
want,
don't have to worry about Zeke trying to knock the camera over like last time because um they're out in the hallway, and they're both laying by the door. I can see them, like, a portion of Zeke's tail is, like, sticking under the door.
Oh, Veronica, you think you have ADHD too? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a lot more common.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they just didn't know it. I mean, it's not anything, it wasn't like they didn't want to diagnose us, they just didn't know. Like,
right.
they just know more now, and so, I mean, I don't fault anybody in my past for not recognizing anything because they didn't know. And now I feel like we're more educated because we have, like, we can look up anything at our fingertips on Google or whatever, and we can be like, "Oh my gosh, that's what I do," and other
Mhm.
people are sharing about it on their social media, and then you're like, "Oh my gosh, I do that too." They're diagnosed ADHD or whatever, so, I feel like that helps, but, I want to just share, like, a quick little chat rule, which everyone has always, on my live, I don't tolerate, um, people coming on and being disrespectful in any kind of way. My moderators know what to do, so this is a safe space that you can share on, and this is a judgment-free space, but it's a moderated space. So, um, if someone pops on and they start talking some crazy mess, they'll just be blocked and they won't be able to post. So,
Yeah.
just be kind and respectful in the chat and share only what you feel comfortable sharing. That goes for you too, Christina. If I ask you a question and you don't want to answer it, it is perfectly okay to say, I'd rather not answer that. And we'll just move on to something else. So I just want
No
everybody
problem.
to know that this is a judgment-free zone, but
Mhm.
it's also a comfortable place for you to be. So you share what you feel comfortable.
Exactly. Yes, I'm an
And
open
so
book, so I don't think I'll have a problem with that, but yes, thank you. Everyone has
yeah,
different comfort levels, you know.
exactly. And that's actually what we're going to be talking about tonight. So, before we really get into it about the comfort and the mental health, and I feel like it's important that we have knowledge about where reborns began. And I have talked about this in a different live, but every doll is like a creative expression of the sculptor, the artist, and the emotional connection that we form will grow from that foundation. Is if that sculptor sculpts something that we really like, that's what draws us to it. Like what drew me to the Everly Gwen was just how newborn she is. And I love the
Oh.
way Natalie Cole sculpts hands and little feet, like all her little toes are separate. And that's rare with a vinyl sculpt. And the way she just curls up. So I mean, like that's what connected me to her in the first place. And so this week she's been like a lot of comfort. Hi, Colleen. And so by having said that, about every doll being a creative expression, that's what reborn dolls should be viewed at first and foremost, because that is what they were created as. But in turn, they also grew to become therapy tools and other things, and they are very helpful for like patients who have like dementia and stuff. Not going to say they're not, but that doesn't mean because someone has a doll that they have dementia or some other issue. They can just have them because they want them, they like them. So
Exactly.
for everybody in the chat, I have a question for you guys. What was the very first feeling you had when you saw your first reborn doll in person for the first time? So you could be typing that. And then for Christina, when did you first connect with reborn dolls and what drew you to them, like initially, like from the start?
Yeah, so I was always a doll lover, my whole life, ever since I was a kid, and I collected Ashton Drake dolls originally. And a few years ago, it must have been like yeah, I guess like 3 years ago now, I was looking for um, box openings of a certain Ashton Drake baby on YouTube, and I came across Reborns, and I had never seen anything like it ever. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's not a real baby?" Like, it was mind blowing. Like, I've always, like I said, always collected dolls, but then, for my personal, comfort, mental health. So when I was 10 years old, I was diagnosed with a chromosomal abnormality called Turner syndrome, which meant I can't have kids of my own. And that's
With
been
that.
a whole different struggle. So I've always struggled with infertility, and um that's why I love my Ashton Drake dolls. And then when I saw Reborns, it just, oh my god, it filled this deep need that I had to be able to nurture, hold, dress a little
Mhm.
baby. It was like something I'd never dreamed actually existed. So I said, I have to get one. I have to go it now. It took me a while. I didn't get my first authentic artist painted Reborn until I won a contest from Anna Dolls in the Cradle. I got my first authentic Reborn, and
I
then
love
I was
Pennye. She's really
hooked.
sweet. I like her.
Yeah, oh my god, love Anne. Yes. Um,
Well,
if
I'm
she watches
glad you got
later.
that experience and you got that experience for that first time. Because I feel like a lot of times when people start off and they have replicas, they don't realize the difference. And then when they do get an authentic, they may still love their other dolls, but then they're like, "Oh, okay, I see the difference now," or whatever, because it's it's difficult to see all the details on camera. And when you look
Right.
at those dolls in
Mhm.
person, you're just like, "Oh my," you could just see the total difference. So,
Exactly. Oh, I love you
how
too,
do you
Sandra.
see
Love you, BB.
how do
So,
you see reborn dolls as an art form?
yeah, so I really, again, it was just all about, collecting love dolls, and I didn't really notice the artwork until I held one in person, my Tobias, my Felicity Asleep kit. And then when I saw just the veining, the details, the modeling, like how beautifully he was
Mhm,
painted, I said, okay, so this is not just for, healing anxiety or helping, with the struggle with infertility. Like it really is art. Like some
mhm.
people will pay thousands of dollars for a Picasso painting or whatever other artists. Like this is literally it's huggable art. It's
Yeah.
like it's huggable artwork you can carry around and dress, and it was
Mhm,
amazing to me. So I actually showed one of my dolls to a cousin of mine who actually makes her own jewelry,
mhm,
and when she saw the painting, she's like, "Wow." She's like, "That is an extremely difficult skill to, cultivate." She's like, she was so impressed. Not a doll person, not a doll collector, but
mhm.
from
Most
an
people
artist
are.
standpoint, from a different medium, she was like, "Wow, that's impressive." And it is when you see, going from a blank kit to this
Mhm.
sweet face. I
That's when
mean,
you realize you're like, "Oh my goodness." Like, look and and I sometimes I feel like the sculptors don't get enough praise because we'll ooh and
mm,
ah over the paint job and the root job, and yes, I agree, that can make or break a baby. But a lot of times I feel like we kind of forget the sculptors and then they have the canvas and it's not a blank canvas. I mean, it's not colored, but they are the ones that sculpts the whole thing and puts in all those little teeny tiny details and the things where you're like, "Oh my gosh," like her little fingers. I mean, she just has the most
yeah.
detailed little fingers, and these tiny fingernails, and I'm like, "That takes time and skill, and that
Mhm.
comes from the heart." Like, you're sculpting from the heart when you sculpt these babies.
Exactly. I became obsessed with this sculpt the first time I saw Edith. I was like, "Oh my gosh, her cheeks, like just
Mhm.
something about her little face." I'm like, "I need this baby in my life." And then finally, thank you, Sandra, for telling me that Anna had one that she was gonna sell. I'm like, "Oh, I have to contact Anna since she has one." And yeah, certain sculpts It's funny, there are certain sculpts that I'm not a huge fan of until I see them painted a certain way, but there are certain sculpts I love no matter what, like, I'm just always drawn to them. So
Yeah, that was this one for me, the Everly Gwen, and I'm usually drawn to awake babies. Like,
see,
that's
I'm
my
more about the sleepers. Yeah, I love
and
my
so
asleep
when I
babies.
really get obsessed with a sleeping baby, I mean, it's like every once in a while, one will just grab my attention, and I just had to have her, and I did not rest until I found one I wanted. So, at
And you
what point did
did.
you notice what point did you notice an emotional or comforting connection forming with
Oh
your
my
dog?
gosh,
Did it
pretty
take a while?
much
Was it immediate?
from my first box opening. Pretty much right away, like, feeling that, just weight, like, the
Thank
way
you, Wendy.
he melted into my arms, just yeah, it was right away. I'm like, "Oh, this is way different than holding, a manufactured baby, that I've collected or any other type of doll." Like, this
Mhm.
feels so comforting and amazing, and that's why, like, still every night, if I'm just laying watching YouTube, watching TV, I will always have a baby in my arms just for that weight, like a weighted
Yeah.
blanket.
Mhm. So, I'm gonna go into the comments and see what everyone's answer to my question was. I think Dottie was asking, did anybody tell Dottie what the question was? It says, "What was the very
Is
first feeling you had when you saw your first reborn doll?" Let me scroll back here, make sure I don't miss anybody.
yeah.
Mhm. Dottie said, I started out collecting because I love dolls, all dolls, but later down the road, I realized I use them as comfort, but not all my dolls do I use or gravitate to." Yeah.
That's a good
I,
point. Certain
I do.
dolls fit certain needs. Yeah.
Then Colleen said, "We were so happy because the neighbor had given us our first newborn doll because she thought she was ugly, but she's actually really cute and her name is Ashlyn." Well, her loss and your gain.
Right?
And Kamika said, "I said I have to have one." Oh, when you saw him for the first time, I stumbled
Yeah.
up on a Reborn channel. And then Tanya said, "We just loved him. My kids were little, like 8, and they were so excited, and they treated him like he was a real baby. It was so cute." Aw.
Oh.
And then Sandra said, "I was super excited. I felt like I just had a real baby, just fascinated. I've collected all kinds of artist dolls for 30 years, but seeing a reborn was a totally different experience." Yes. If you've had different kinds of dolls, whether it's factory dolls or whatever, or just a different kind of doll in general, once you get a reborn, I mean, it's like it's never the same anymore. You're like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta have this."
Exactly. No going back.
That's right, Veronica. She said, "Without the sculptors, we would not have these beautiful babies." Oh, thank you, Sandy. She said,
Yeah.
"Both of your babies are gorgeous."
Oh, thank you.
And then Veronica said, "I actually cried when I opened my Sansa sculpt. That's one I've
Oh,
never gotten." But she said it reminded her of her oldest child. I would always look at that sculpt
I
and I
don't
never
know
would
that
get it.
one.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's a bigger newborn. It's not a teeny tiny one. But she or he, whatever, I've seen them as boys and girls, but they have like little wrinkles on their forehead. And it's like the little inquisitive newborn look where they kind of like have their forehead up. It's so cute.
Oh, I'll have to check pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Sansa by Ping Lao. And then Sandra said, I think I just heard Esme say she wants to visit Auntie
No,
Sandra soon."
Sandra, she's asleep. She didn't say that. But no, she would love to. Esme did so good on her cross country flight over the summer that we took. So, yes, we will work something out.
Monique said, "I have one of Erica's babies." And then Colleen said, "And we just kept looking for more, and we just decided that we wanted more newborn dolls, and we love them all." Hey,
Oh, I'm
that's nothing
sorry,
wrong with that.
Sandy, your
Everybody has a
mother's
preference
death. They're helping
of things
comfort.
that they like. So, let's talk about comfort and coping and mental health. So, like for many people, reborn dolls become more than just art, as we just talked about. They can become comfort objects during grief, anxiety, trauma,
Mhm.
loneliness, or just a big life change. Like you could just have something come up in your life that you weren't expecting, but it happened. And that's happened with me, especially when my dad got really sick. And then, my mom, she's in an assisted living and she's got dementia. And so, um, I found a lot of comfort in this hobby, but not with just the dolls. It was the people in it. And a lot
Exactly.
of people, they
Mhm.
focus, outsiders will focus a lot on the dolls and they don't even realize that they're like, oh my gosh, they need to go outside and touch grass and talk to real people. And I'm like, we do. We have real
Literally.
friends we bond with and form friendships with. It's not just the dolls. Like they portray us as these sad, lonely people that sit in our house and just play with a doll. And um, they confuse realism with belief. So just because I present this baby in a realistic way does not mean that I believe it's a real baby. And they
Right.
always confuse that. They're like, "Oh my gosh, she thinks that that's real." But no,
No.
no, it's
Not
just
even close.
that's not even anywhere near.
No.
So for everyone in the chat, um, have comfort hobbies of any kind or dolls helped you through a difficult time? And remember, if there's anything you don't want an answer, you don't have to. And if you just want to say yes, just say yes. It's helped me through. You don't have to explain. But you answer what you feel comfortable answering. And
It's good.
for Christina, in what ways did reborn dolls bring you comfort or grounding during a difficult time? And what you don't have to say what it was about, but you could just tell the ways that they helped you.
Oh, no, over no, and I've talked about this on my channel, when my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer, um, not long after is when I first got Tobias. It was just random. Um, I had this huge devastating news and then I got my first reborn. So then yeah, when my dad progressively got sick, he went pretty quickly. Just having that baby during that time was sometimes the only thing I had to look forward to be honest. It was like the only thing that I knew would bring me some small measure of peace, of comfort that would let me sleep at night because there was so much going on. And it's been 2 years now since he passed away, and I still cling to these dolls for that.
Mhm.
Grief is really, really hard. Oh, and I'm sorry, Sandy, you dealt with that with your mom too. But yeah, any type of loss is really tough if you don't have anything to help you through it. So whether it's dolls or trains, whatever other hobby you have, we're all just trying to survive, So um for anyone to be judged for how they cope with certain things, it's not fair for that to be stigmatized
Mhm.
because yeah, the past 2 years, what I've gone through with my family, well, multiple losses, my dad, my grandmother, it's been a lot. And so just simply having that baby in my arms at the end of the day is enough to help me recharge, reset, help me breathe better. And yeah, I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have this hobby just to help me through. And not only the dolls, but the people too. Like when
Yeah.
I call Sandra crying on an anniversary or my dad's birthday, whatever it is, like that's also where it comes into play. Like you said, it is the community as a whole when
Mhm.
things are tough. And I am so grateful for that as well. All the friends I've made in this hobby, being there
I never had
for
so many friends in my life until I joined the reborn community.
I know,
Like,
right?
I'm just like, okay, like it just I've never had that's the truth. Like growing up, I had one or two like close friends, or whatever. But both of my childhood friends have passed away. So they
Oh,
had unfortunate things to happen to them. And so those were my 2 close friends and, they're both gone. And being
I'm
in the
so
hobby, I've
sorry.
made wonderful friendships, like, just people that I've been friends with for years, and yeah, so I mean, like, for them to assume that it's all about the dolls, that couldn't be more wrong.
We're not just
So
locked in our nurseries, like, rocking our babies back and forth alone, like, that's
right,
so silly.
yeah, like, we haven't talked to people in days or months or whatever. So
Right.
do you feel like mental health tools, such as, like, using these as a mental health tool, like, complements other things, like, along with, like, therapy and journaling and, um, just learning to be mindful, grounding. Do you think that these are a great tool to, like, go along with other things?
Absolutely, and my therapist loves my dolls for me. She absolutely thinks it's a great tool, to use. Yeah, so as long as you're not hurting anyone else around you, I don't know why anyone would care how someone copes with their own day-to-day problems. Yeah,
Right.
it's I guess it could be a problem if, if you're not maybe getting extra help that you may need and you're only, maybe using the dolls. But I don't know anyone who isn't taking the extra steps, talking to a therapist. Like I don't know anyone who's only using the dolls as their only form of therapy, you know?
Yeah.
So
And I've seen comments where people would be like, talking about using the dolls as therapy, like, they feel like that it's counterproductive or it's even worse, and I'm like, "Well, who are you to decide? Do you have a PhD behind your name? I don't think so." So, I mean, they always have these big opinions, but none of it's backed by anything. It's just what they think. So what
right,
would you
exactly.
say someone who feels embarrassed to admit that their dolls bring them comfort? Like, what would you say to that person?
Oh my gosh. I know how hard it is to get past that embarrassment. But honestly, staying quiet about it isn't go it it's gonna come out one way or another. I'll tell you a funny story. So, my family knew nothing about my channel or my dolls because I knew what they would say. I knew that they wouldn't really, really care, but I knew I'd get teased about it. So
Yeah.
then, one day my brother was putting he was putting like a movie trailer. He wanted to show us something else on YouTube. So we were all at my parents' house. And when he went in, for some reason, I don't know how, it was signed into my YouTube on my parents' TV. I don't film there. I don't know how
Oh,
that happened. But my brother was like, "What's Cuddles by Christina?" And I'm like, um, that's my channel.
yeah,
I
I
play
mean,
with
they're gonna find it sooner or later. Somebody's gonna come over to your house and open that door. Like,
exactly.
they're gonna be like, "Where's the bathroom?" And you're gonna tell them, and they're gonna go to the wrong door, and they're gonna open it up and be like, and they're gonna, there's your nursery with your babies in it. They're gonna
Yeah,
find it one way or another. I
exactly. So there's
I
no
when I
point
came
in
up,
being
I was
embarrassed.
very open, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I just shared it from the beginning, and even my husband would do it, like, his friends would come over, he'd be like, "Hey, come here and look at my wife's dolls." You know?
Oh, I love that.
People in there and, like, show my babies off. So, I thought that was
Aw.
pretty. So,
Oh,
yeah,
Veronica
that's
says
nice
she's
to
not
hear some. I
embarrassed.
mean, it's hard to get over that, but
Yeah.
like you said, they're gonna know eventually, so it's kinda like a Band-Aid, just rip it off.
Oh,
You
Sammy,
know?
don't be afraid to tell your doctor, especially no.
No, no, no.
Mm-mm. I am not embarrassed about my dolls, but my kids don't like them. Well, you know what, Veronica? If your kids don't like them, that's fine. That's their right, but they have to respect that you like them.
Right. That's we don't expect anyone to like our dolls, but we do expect to be respected. Like,
Right, you don't have to,
I
like, shove a
expect
doll in your face and
respect.
say, "Hold my doll, hold my baby." Like,
Mhm. I
no,
treat
but
people respectfully, and so I expect it back in return. And
exactly.
so you can set that that standard where you're not going to take any disrespect.
Mhm. And it's
So,
tough having those boundaries, I know,
yeah,
but
boundaries are healthy and you can set those boundaries and that's fine.
mhm.
So let's see. Veronica said she's oh, you just read that. So did anybody answer the question about if dolls have comforted you through difficult times? Sandy said it's so hard for me next month. I hate my birthday because I had to watch her go in the hole on Valentine's Day, and that's my birthday, and it hurts so bad. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry. I
sorry.
had my dachshund, whose name was Molly. The dog you heard me talking to, her name was Malila. She is a Dorky, which is a dachshund Yorkie mix. And so she has my Yorkie who passed away's name and my dachshund combined. So it was Delilah and Molly. So she's Malila. So, but Molly passed away on Valentine's Day. And for several years, I didn't even want anything to do with Valentine's Day. Like
I don't blame
she was
you. Yeah.
15 years old and she just passed away right in front of my eyes. So,
Oh, I'm
um,
sorry.
I woke up to that happening.
Mhm.
It was like really early in the morning.
Yeah. And let's see. If Tammy says when my daughter's baby was born premature, she had to go home and leave him at the hospital. So I gave her a reborn to cuddle at home, and she was missing her baby boy. That reborn was a real comfort to her. Oh, that's
Oh,
beautiful, Tammy. Oh,
I'm so glad.
oh, Melissa said after my heart attack a year ago, I got dolls were helping them. I got my silicone. Now he's helped me a lot more. Oh, I'm glad you're better. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
scary. A heart
Because
attack.
you know what? This helps in more ways than what people think. Because when you hold these dolls, your brain releases dopamine like it would if you're holding a real baby because your brain sees the realism. And so you just automatically get that awe factor, like, oh. And so it releases that dopamine. And dopamine is a feel good chemical that's naturally in your brain. So once you release that dopamine, it makes you feel better. Dopamine can even treat pain. So
Yes,
regardless of what people want to think, there's science behind these dolls helping people.
exactly. Yes.
So,
Oh, Veronica, I'm sorry you started collecting because my husband died in 2020 of brain
aw,
cancer. Oh gosh.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
My first husband also passed away with brain cancer when we were 28, and it's hard.
oh,
And
Penny,
that's who
that's
my little grandbaby's named after. He's named after his gramps. So Charlie got
oh,
to never be he never got to be a Gramps, but he always told me that he wanted to be a Gramps, wanted to be called Gramps. So when I show my grandbaby Charlie pictures of him, I say, "This is your Gramps." And so I've I honor him in that, and he's going to be Gramps.
oh, that's so sweet.
But yeah, I show it to him.
Oh,
So like, "This is your Gramps. He's in heaven."
yeah.
And
You,
right now
oh,
he's just a toddler, but I want him to grow up seeing his pictures and knowing who he is so that he will always know.
yeah.
So, as
Oh,
we were talking about, like, not all comfort tools are easily understood by other people, and sometimes what brings us peace and comfort can make someone else feel uncomfortable. But what I feel like happens a lot of times is people who feel uncomfortable confuse that with being harmed. I don't like
mm,
snakes. Someone could bring a snake in here in this room, and I'm gonna be so uncomfortable. They can keep it with them, and I'm gonna sit over here and freak out and go, "Get that thing away from me."
yeah. No, I
And
don't do.
then they can hold on to that snake, and they can walk out of the room, and then I'm gonna be probably heart racing and everything else. But guess what? I was uncomfortable, but it did not harm me. And so I feel like that's what a lot of people feel with these dolls. They look at it, it's realistic looking. It makes them feel like, "Oh my gosh, how does it look so real and it's not real?" And so it makes them uncomfortable. So they attach harm to it. So I think that's why a lot of times they'll be like, "You're taking away from real babies and you need to go see a mental health specialist," and all this stuff. They have to attack it as a harmful something because of their discomfort. And I think
Mhm.
that people would do a lot better if they would learn to differentiate between something that's harmful or something that makes them uncomfortable.
Mhm. That's a great point, and I also feel like, just feminine hobbies in general are looked down on
Mhm.
because, like we said, no one cares if a man collects baseball cards or action figures. An action figure is a doll, people. Like, come on. It's just, yes, it is, Kevin.
Same thing. Yes,
Same
it is.
thing, but that's okay. No one's telling a man, "Oh, why do you collect action figures? Why do you collect baseball cards, girl?" It's only feminine hobbies. It's
Yeah.
nurturing that is, and it's weird because it should be the opposite. Like, don't you want nurturing to be
Mhm.
something that people do and continue to share? Like, if there weren't women, there'd be no more people. So you don't want women to continue
Right.
nurturing and comforting and loving babies. Like, it's so weird to me. It's so weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I'm just like, "Okay, I don't know what your logic is there, but
There's
okay, for every
definitely
in
misogynism
path."
involved. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Um, yeah, misogynism is everywhere, but especially,
of course.
when it comes to hobbies where it's like,
We've
no,
come
it's
a long
okay.
way, but there's still things like that happening, no doubt.
Or
So, guys,
Legos,
for me to
exactly,
be
Monique.
able
Yeah, Legos. Good point. Yep.
recognize that you have answered the question, how about my favorite color is purple. How about you put a purple heart on your comment and then say what you need to say to answer the question, and that way I can find your questions a lot easier, and Christina can help me find them also. So, for everyone in the audience, I wanna say, how do you or ask, how do you personally handle negative comments or judgment about your hobby or hobbies if you have more than one? And so for you, Christina, have you ever experienced judgment or misunderstanding because of the reborns?
So I'll be honest. Other than my family half-heartedly teasing me, like saying it's creepy and whatever, I just ignore that. But when I have taken Esme out in public when she flew across the country with me, the reactions, I'm telling you, were so positive. And what I heard more than anything was, "Oh my gosh, I want one. Oh, I have to have one." People had no idea. So people were amazed, like,
Mhm.
when they
That's
saw
mostly goes.
her, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, how old is she?" Sometimes I would play along, like, "Oh, she's 5 weeks." But then, like, when I was getting ready to board and the agent was like, "Oh, the baby needs a boarding pass." I'm like, "No, no, she doesn't. No, it's a doll."
I
See?
freaked a
But
woman out one time that asked me that. I don't even remember what it wasn't any of the babies I have now. This was been a while. She said, "Oh, how old is she?" And I said, "Well, by how old do you mean like the day she was made or the day I got her?" She goes,
what?
I'm not sure how to answer that. And so then I
That's
started like
funny.
giggling and then I said, "This is actually a reborn doll." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, really?" Like people don't realize how, if they've never seen one in person, they don't realize how realistic they look.
Yeah, exactly. So it really was positive. Anytime I've brought her out,
Yeah.
um, people either, they'll either just like smile that big smile and like look without saying anything. Just you always smile when you see a baby. Or if they do come up and say something, it's never been negative, luckily, from strangers.
Yeah.
Um,
So why do you think comfort hobbies sometimes trigger discomfort in others? I know I kind of touched on that, but why do you think that is? I think it's just because they look so real and then it makes them uncomfortable when they find out they're not.
well, I think it just the uncomfort in general, like anytime you dislike something, it's usually because you don't understand it or you don't it's not something you have a lot of experience with or contact with. So if you've never been in this hobby and it's something new to you, I think some people, their immediate reaction is sort of defensive just from ignorance. It's just, from not knowing. So I think the key is, the more people learn about it, if they take time to educate themselves, then most of the time they don't find them as creepy, to
Yeah.
be honest.
So how do you protect your peace when you're faced with like criticism and have stigma placed on you?
Oh, that's a good one. So honestly, I would say it's not really hard for me to protect my peace that way because um if and when I do take out a doll, I'm already kind of prepared, and it's not like it's unexpected. So like I said, it's usually been positive. But what I will say gets difficult is I still have trouble with negative comments on YouTube that I know it shouldn't bother me. That still gets to me. It's annoying. And the only thing is block and delete. That's all I can, and that just brings the peace back.
Setting
Um,
boundaries. It is okay to set boundaries to keep your peace. If
yes.
there is a creator you don't want interacting with you, or someone or just a commenter that's not a creator, but they comment, if you don't want them interacting with you because it's a negative experience, it is perfectly fine to set that boundary and say, I'm keeping my peace. Hi, Nikki.
Exactly. Oh, hi, Nikki. Yay.
Yeah, so I
Um,
mean, and that's okay. Anyone that says it's not okay for you to set a boundary is a bully because
mhm.
all it is they are mad because you have put that wall up and they can't bother you anymore. So they try to still come at you. Like I've had people make videos about me. I just ignored it and went on about my business. I didn't even
Yeah.
acknowledge because I don't do that. That's not what I'm here for. And when you're making videos talking about other people, that says more about you than the person you're talking about. Especially when you go to that person's channel and all you're seeing is role plays and changing videos and outings and them having fun in the hobby. I don't make videos about other creators and talk about them and I don't do that. So when
No.
people come to my channel, they're like, what is this person talking about? This woman doesn't do anything. So I mean like it really just ends up hurting them in the end because when people see them for what they really are, then which is troublemakers, then they're like, "I'm not watching your videos if that's what you're gonna do." Like, there's so many people, they started out being different, and then they turned into one of those channels that always wanted to call somebody out or whatever.
I
The
can't
only
stand
time
that. Yeah.
I have ever did a video about someone, it was a scammer who took my money for a masterpiece doll, and she still had other dolls up for sale, and I did not want anyone to be taken by her again. And she turned around, like, 2 almost 3 weeks later, she still had not mailed my doll. I had to file a dispute with PayPal, and she took the same doll that I had already paid in full for and had it for sale again, trying to get paid twice for the same doll.
Oh,
And
no.
I
See,
presented
that has
all
to be
the
called out.
PayPal,
Yeah.
and they refunded me. Um, so, I mean, and I called her out. I did do that. Now that I will do because that is not drama. That is helping protect my fellow Dolly sisters.
Yes.
There's a big difference in that. It's
Exactly.
there's a difference in standing up and stepping up for someone than just being drama and picking on someone. So anytime
Yeah.
if I do have a video like that, it's because I was like, "No, this is unacceptable. I've got to say something about this." Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
just gonna see my happy-go-lucky content. So I'm gonna check,
Yeah.
see if I see any purple hearts. Monique said they don't understand it. That's why they feel so uncomfortable. Yeah, and the
Mhm.
thing is, they don't even want to try to understand it. Like they would rather just talk about us and say untrue things than to learn because it takes effort to learn, and it takes no effort to assume. You can just assume whatever you want to. And then
Exactly.
Sandra said, "No, I think it's been pretty positive for my family and whoever has seen them. Mostly for me too. Like Christina said, most of my negative stuff comes from YouTube. Monique says my family doesn't understand it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mm.
And I think that's all I see now. Okay.
Tammy
Hey, this
says
is
there's a lady at my
great.
church that gets creeped out by my dolls. Everyone else at church loves my babies. Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. I take well, only one time did I take one to a church that I used to go to, and I'm gonna tell you, the men were more crazy about the baby than the women.
Oh
The
my
men were like, "Come here, honey, take a picture of me with this baby," and the women were more like kind of standoffish, but the men were like, "Let me hold her." Like I thought they were gonna like a fight was gonna break out in church over who got her next.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Next, and then of course it was joking, but like they were like,
Yeah,
"Who
yeah.
won next?"
Oh my
So,
Well, that's okay that you were late, Nikki. We're just glad you were able to come.
yeah. Yeah, better late than never, I always say.
Exactly. Monique says my family just thinks they're supposed to just sit on the bed like regular dolls. They don't understand why we
Yeah.
dress them or put them in cribs or have car seats or strollers. That's a good point. Like
These are interactive.
they
They're not
are,
just to
yeah,
sit and look at.
and they're not cheap. Like if you're gonna spend our hard-earned money on a doll, like you're not just going to like Nikki said in her video, like you're not just gonna sit it on a garbage can and take a picture. Like you want the realism, the accessories, like you're going
Mhm.
to put in the effort. And I thought that was a great way to put it. So yeah, it's silly to not expect everything else that comes with this hobby. Like to draw the line at accessories, like, oh, you can have dolls, but if you have a bottle or a crib, that's taking it too far.
Right.
Like, come
Like,
on.
I'm sorry, but you don't get to put stipulations on my joy,
Yeah,
That doesn't work that way.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
like, let's lead into that about validation and setting boundaries, which we've been talking about. And then just finding your own way, what you are comfortable with and how you like to do this hobby. I use hobby as a verb sometimes. I'll be like, what I'm comfortable hobbying like this. So how do you guys like to hobby? so and another thing I want to talk about is healing doesn't look the same for everyone. We kind of talked about that on the beginning of the video too. Um and comfort does not need permission. I don't need permission from anyone to receive comfort. I can do what I need
Correct.
to do to comfort myself, and
Hmm.
I don't have to ask, "Is this okay? Is how I'm comforting myself okay with you?" I don't have to ask that, neither do you, and joy does not need justification. I don't have to over explain. I don't have to explain anything unless I want to, and I choose to be educational. That's about as far as my explanation is going because otherwise it's my hobby. That's the only explanation you need, And so, other than to educate people who might actually truly be wondering about the hobby, that's as far as that goes. You explain what you feel comfortable explaining and don't feel like that you have to do it. You do it because you want to. So that's my advice on that. And that has made my life so much better when I was just like, explain if you want. And if you don't want to, just say, it's my hobby. It's not for everybody. It's not for you.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
Oh, hi, Mary. Oh, Mary Weaver joined. Thank you.
hi, Mary.
Yay.
So, for the audience, like, what does your doll or comfort hobby represent in your life right now? Like, what what does it do in your life as far as just every day? And for you, Christina, I would like to ask, like, what would you give someone who is what kind of advice would you give someone who is quietly collecting dolls and they want to share them, but they're afraid to be seen?
So there's definitely nothing wrong with um taking your time coming out, so to speak, to
Coming out of the doll
outing
closet?
yourself. Yeah. Like so your hobby is your hobby if so your comfort level is not always going to be the same. So if you feel you're ready, then the best advice is to just take baby steps. You don't have to go all out and immediately broadcast your whole collection, on
Mhm.
YouTube or make a channel or
You don't
you
have to show your face.
no,
You can just
exactly.
show your dolls.
Yeah. So small steps. So if you feel like you're ready, maybe start by, a quick outing to Walmart. See how that feels, for
Mhm.
a little bit and, try maybe just a quick video changing one baby with you not on camera. Take small steps and you'll get there. There's no rush and there's no timeline.
Right. Good advice. So, how do you think we as a community can make this hobby feel safer and more inclusive for people coming in who might have fears like that?
Oh my gosh, that is such a good question. Like, I don't want to go into the whole authentic versus replica debate that has been done to death. That's not what
And
this is about.
we're beating a dead horse. I don't even talk about that anymore. I'm
Not
just
even,
like, I'm like, everybody knows what they're buying. You can't tell people what to buy. They know the difference. They know one is real, authentic. I'll say, not really real. They're all real dolls.
right. There,
No,
yeah,
they're here really in reality,
you can
but
hold them,
right,
but
they're
yes,
they're
I
tangible objects that you can touch and feel, but one is authentic and one is, a replica, a copy. So, yeah, that's been done to death.
yeah, I don't want to do that, but I would say, I know that whole debate did, um, you know, make people uncomfortable and there was a big divide between certain content creators. And that's really sad. That's really sad. So I think
Yeah.
all we can do um on our own channels is just keep spreading that positivity and making a welcome space and making sure people know that they are welcome, that it is safe for them to find joy in their hobby, however they find it, however they collect, whatever they're comfortable with. Instead of this, oh no, if you have that kind of doll, you can't be on YouTube or you can't do this. Like, you can't do that. Like, no, you don't have to watch certain content if that's not your thing. If you only wanna watch high-end silicone babies on YouTube, whatever your jam is, that's
There's
fine,
something
but
for everybody.
yeah, exactly, it's like there's room for everyone, like that what is it, Buddy the Elf said, "There's room for everyone on the nice list." Like, there's room
Right.
for everyone on YouTube.
Exactly. It doesn't fill up. It doesn't get too full.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, so, that's what I try to do anyway, just to make sure that, everyone's
Mhm.
welcome, doesn't matter
Yeah.
what you collect and yeah, because this hobby is growing, I feel like reborns have been getting a lot more attention in general and we want people to keep enjoying and growing in this hobby. Like we don't want to scare off people because like, oh, well, if I start collecting then, I'm going to
I don't
have to
wanna be a part of that mess. Yeah.
exactly. And I know
Well,
so
one
that's
thing
with
I
any
think would
hobby
be
has its
helpful. I'm sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I was gonna say, like, I know any hobby has its drama, like, that's just
Yeah.
human nature.
Not even
Um
hobbies, workplaces and everything else, like, there's gonna be drama
mhm.
everywhere you go.
Yeah, exactly. So, just all we can do is try to keep it to a minimum as best we can,
Mhm.
um, and, yeah, I love seeing new channels pop up and, supporting smaller channels, that's part of the fun of it, you know?
Yeah, well, my advice to add to that would be, like, for people just coming into the hobby, share their channel on your wall. Tell people about them
Oh,
in
that's a
video.
good point, yeah.
Go and
Mhm.
check out so and so. They're just getting started on YouTube. Like I've told so many people, hey, if you ever decide to start sharing on YouTube, I'll share your channel on mine, and we'll come show you support. Um, and I mean that. I mean that. If anyone comes to me and they're a new channel, and they are wanting to like get to know everyone and get into the community, I share about them. And I just think that's a good thing to do. because when I came into the community, there wasn't a lot of people that would do that. And so I do things for
Mm,
people that I would have liked to have had done for me, but didn't get it done. And so that's something too. And then like I also tell people, hey, you can come on, you don't have to show your face. You can
right.
just show your dolls. Like you don't, I mean, I get on there face to face because I think Nikki made a comment up there. I saw it go by where she was saying that she was uh kind of sheltered and kept her dolls in. And then she and I started hanging out together. Like we found out we lived close to each other. And then I'm just over there like whipping my dolls out everywhere, don't even care. And like I'm just all walking up in Walmart with a doll like this. And I'm like, come on, Nikki, let's something. And so she says, you've brought me out of my shell or whatever. But I love that. And we're gonna have a dolly day tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So
Oh, I'm
maybe some videos coming on.
so jealous. Oh, I wish
So
I lived
like
closer.
what do you feel is a healthy, joyful collecting? What do you feel like that is? Like what if you think about a healthy, joyful hobby, what does that mean to you?
So that means collecting what you love, but also being mindful of not going down that slippery slope that we all feel that urge to overconsume,
Mhm.
overbuy, to keep up with the Joneses, keep up with the latest trends. It's really easy to fall into that trap, and um it's dangerous. Yeah, because a hobby can't be joyful if it's, putting you in major debt.
No. It's
So
gonna be
it's
stressful.
exactly so stressful. So what you have to keep in mind is your own line, and your own budget. What you can comfortably manage, because some collectors, if they get more than 4 or 5 dolls, that's it. They
Mhm.
can't collect anymore. It's overwhelming. Me, I have over 80. I have so many dolls because that's what brings me joy, and that's what I love. So, um, and that can change as well. Like, just because you collect a certain way this year, maybe next year you might feel differently. You might be more comfortable expanding your collection. So just really just checking in with
Mhm.
yourself to um again, like, think about, okay, what do I want to do with my collection? Is it feasible? Is it, financially possible? Because it's so easy to justify purchases. We've all done it. It's so easy to say, well, I deserve it. Well, yeah, we all do. You know, we all deserve to buy all the
Because when you
babies.
get it, you're like, "I don't even really like this." And then you end up selling it or something because, you just thought you had to have it. So that's me, like, I'm being a lot more mindful. I think
Right.
that represents healthy. I think I have a hair in my mouth. That represents healthy, joyful collecting to me is being mindful, getting the dog that I really want, and not just the popular ones that everybody's getting because I've done that before, and then when I got the dog,
Mhm.
I was like, "I don't even like this."
And then you
So
sold your whole collection.
yeah, ended up selling it, so,
But
um,
yeah. Just trying to go through some
I guess we're just gonna wrap things up, and so, as we start to wrap things up, I'm gonna open up the floor just for the next few minutes. Hey, we did good. It's like a hour and 9 minutes, so, hey.
Yeah, perfect.
We did good. We tried to stay on track, like, I was like, "Help me stay on track because I can't see a clock." Um,
Right?
but,
Uh,
as we start to wrap it up, I'm gonna open the floor, and you guys, if you have any open-ended questions for Christina or myself about anything that we've talked about or just something that you want to know, feel free to ask now. I'm gonna go back and see if I see any purple hearts. Monique said, "I have a lot of babies too. I think I'm close to 100."
wow.
Sandra said, "Keep it under 10 and send doll pics to your friends to enable them." Amen, sister.
Yeah.
That's a hot buzz. I don't know how many times I'll just be sitting somewhere and I look and it's Tanya, and she's like, "Look at this sculpt." Or ding, and it'll be Jenny, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, look at these." And it, yeah. And then I do them the same way. I'll be like, oh my gosh, look at this. There's like this sound bite on shorts that's like, look at this one, look at that one. And I'm like, yeah, that's what we do.
Yep, that's what you do to
Monique
me,
said they
Sandra.
make me
Yeah.
smile every day when I see them. Oh. And then Colleen said, when we went roller skating, Dominic's sister-in-law made fun of us because Colleen brought Amber to the skating rink and she didn't like it. You must be Colleen's sister. I was like, am I not talking to Colleen? And she didn't like it. And she said, I don't want to be seen with you guys.
Oh,
Well, then I would say, okay, you go right on ahead and go your separate way. This
yeah.
is my hobby and I like it. Monique said, I agree with you 100%, Penny. And then she also said, right, but I was told no one else is like that in his family, and I make them.
Hmm.
So, like, they were trying to say that you made them uh, come at you about your collection. Once again, you're responsible for your own actions, whether it's how you react. You can't control here's the thing, you can't control what people do. You can't control what they're going to say. You can't control how they feel. But what you can do is you can control how you react to it. And since I
Exactly.
have incorporated that into my life, it's so peaceful. Like,
Hmm.
and I'm not saying I don't care about people. I do. I care about people as people. I care about the person, but I do not care if someone is like picking and poking at me trying to get a reaction because I find that to be very immature. And that's something they need to do some self reflection to figure out why they're more concentrated on antagonizing someone than enjoying a hobby that they're supposed to be in and they're supposed to love. So, they just need to do self reflection. I don't get in the middle of that stuff. I just ignore and go on and do my thing. And they can't argue with the wall because the first thing that's going to happen, if you go make your video, then they're going to make another video, and then their friend's going to make a video, and then your friend's going to make a video. And then the next thing you know, you have this whole war going on in
And
the
it
dog
never
community.
ends.
No, and it never ends. It'll drag on for months, sometimes years. And I'm just like, y'all, I'm over this. I just ignore it all. That's what I do. Why said I've done so much self-reflection in the past year, it truly has made a difference.
Yes,
It
you
does.
have.
I've done it myself.
Yep.
I'm not just preaching here. This is what I've done for myself. I have done so much self-reflection and I know how much that it has helped me. So that's why I'm saying, if you're ever feeling like you're stuck in a rut in this hobby or anything in life, but since we're talking about the hobby, if you're ever feeling like you're stuck or you're confused or you just feel like that you it's lost its sparkle, then that's when you need to do that self-reflection and find out where it went wrong so you can fix
Hmm.
it because you can fix it. If you come into this for the love of the dolls, but something else made you feel some type of way, then find that and work on that and fix that because you don't have to give up something that you love. I don't want you to confuse a bad feeling that you had or a bad experience that you had with someone as it defines your whole hobby because it does not.
Hmm.
Nikki said,
That's
"Yep,
that's a good
you keep
point.
me in the loop with the sculpts." Yeah, I do Nikki too. I'll be like, "Nikki, look at this." Natalie we just put out a new child size doll. She is really pretty. I don't know if you've seen her, but Natalie Blick has a new child size doll out. So go look at her on here at the schools. Enabling right here.
Oh, Sandra, you helped me
Aw.
too. I'm sometimes wise, but
Hi,
yeah, we
Claire.
do teach each other.
Good to meet you too,
Aw.
Claire. Thank you for coming and watching. I'm sorry. Have you been here the whole time? Sorry, I haven't noticed you until now.
Hi, Claire.
Colleen said we almost have over. We have 150 dolls, me and Dominic.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that would
That's
overwhelm
impressive.
me. That would totally overwhelm me. But, I'm happy that that makes you happy. And
Oh,
Sandy
good
said, I
night,
have great
Sandy.
fun. Yeah, so if anybody don't have any questions, I guess we'll close it up. We're right here at an hour and 15 minutes, which is where I wanted to be.
Oh,
So
Claire, you just arrived. I'm sorry. Well, there'll be the replay, Claire, but
Aw. Well, I didn't
Aw.
know. I was like, "Have I not seen her the whole time?" But yeah, you can the replay will be up and you can catch that. My lives are every Tuesday night at 7 Central. So you'll just I don't know what time zone you're in, but you'll just have to see, like, what time that is where you are, and it's every Tuesday, and, later on in the year, there might be, like, a Tuesday here and there that I skip, but I'll announce that. I'll be like, "No live next Tuesday," or whatever. So, we're good to go for now.
Oh, thank you
Elliot's over
guys.
Elio's over on the bed. Sister's watching with me, right, because I have trouble. Okay, no problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everyone have a great evening, and I just wanna say, like, I appreciate you being here, because conversations like this matter, and Reborn dolls, even though they might have began as art, they did develop into being therapeutic, and that's something that I feel is, like, deeply human, you know? That's
Yes.
not something that you can just write off and say it's not okay because to have comfort, I feel is a human right. That's just your basic rights as a human being. So if something brings you peace and it helps you cope or it allows you to feel safe in this world, that matters. So you don't owe anyone an explanation for your healing, and you certainly don't have to ask their permission.
Amen.
And so,
Absolutely.
Christina, I just want to say thank you for sharing your heart tonight and your experience with us. And to everyone in the chat, thank you for holding the peace and speaking with kindness and respect. I appreciate that so much. I've always had great people show up on my lives that, and I think it's just because like everybody knows what to expect when they come to my live. So everybody comes ready. And so I appreciate that. So I just want to say thank you all for coming and showing up and being here.
Yes, this was so fun. Thank you. This was a very important conversation. And hopefully, some point during the
Oh,
year,
I love
maybe I'll be back. We can
you.
do another live.
He says, "Mwah,
All right, everybody
mwah,
says bye, everybody. Good night.
bye."